Alright, continuing on.
Oh, and speaking of assistance, I should also note that no one has been able to identify the creatures that you described to me earlier.
I'm sorry, what? Ooh, I like the little background noise.
That in itself is rather peculiar, considering how many people in this city are fascinated with magical creatures. None of our experts had any answers, though.
Alright.
Fortunately, the Avowed are a curious lot, and are working all the harder to determine who or what you encountered. Since you ran into one of their kind again, if their bodies are still where you slew them in the woods, finding and examining their anatomy would go a long way towards solving the riddle. I will send someone out to find.
Did you know Wizard Adro?
He was actually the last disciple of my late master Mord in Canaan. It is how he came to possess our master's last written work. We trained together for a little while, though I struck out on my own while he was still an apprentice. They were both far more invested in the workings of the multiverse than I was. If I'm being entirely honest, I was always a little jealous of how well they got along. Still, it is hard to imagine that both of them are gone now.
Is there anything we can do to help?
Not now, I'm afraid. Now it is just a matter of giving our Avowed some time.
What should Vair and
Well, you're always welcome to find other work in the area. Otherwise, you have...
Mm. What's over here then? It was just like a gorgeous little thing. I would still love to see like. Oh, that looks beautiful. I think there's an inn over here. Oh my god, she's so tiny.
What can I do for you?
do you have an open room for the night?
Yeah, haven't had a lot of customers lately since most travelers aren't being let into the city.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Oh boy.
No. Stay away. No. Stop it. Leave me alone. Go away!
Vair! Vair! Endandra Vair! It's okay!
No.
No one here.
Leave me.
It's just us.
Get back!
Just us, okay?
Where are they? Contra, where are they? They...
That's not the first time you've had a dream like that. It's getting worse.
Yes, they are.
What were you dreaming about?
You needn't pretend.
Do you want to talk about it?
No.
Oh.
About last night.
Please, do not speak of it.
It's just that, was the experience really that bad? Having your body stolen. I know you were scared, but those dreams you have and the way you acted when the cultists caught us.
I said not to speak of it. I want no reminder of that. But if you really insist on satisfying your childish, idiotic curiosity, then just know this. Having my soul ripped from my body was the most painful thing that I have ever experienced. I did not know that pain could be so complete or overwhelming. Not being able to do anything about it was even worse. Now be silent and go speak with the sage.
Ah, there you are. The Avowed and I have been working on your conundrum. I have some good news and I have some bad news.
Let's hear the good news.
Well, to begin with, we have found a way to safely separate Vair's soul from your body and put it back into his own while expelling the parasite that is latched onto him.
What's the bad news?
The bad news, I'm afraid, is that the artifact you need to put Vair back into his own body is rather far away, and may not actually be where we think it is. You see, while investigating, we encountered two principal problems. Removing and transporting another creature's soul is actually rather simple if you have the appropriate knowledge or equipment. I've done it myself on several occasions. The problems are that Endandravaya's body is already inhabited by a living creature that may have some control over it, and furthermore, we do not know how much damage this creature has inflicted on Vair's body, nor whether removing the parasite forcibly would do even more. For all we know, removing the creature would kill Vair's body, and trying to put his soul back into it would be, well, to address this, we tracked down an artifact known as the Rod of Alignment. It's relatively simple, it can only do so on a limited scale and needs time to recharge, but it should do the trick.
What's the catch?
The catch is that, like I said, we are not absolutely sure about where it is. We just have a very good guess that...
Will that be enough on its own?
Yes, though depending on how powerful the parasite is, you will likely need to weaken the creature before the artifact can extract it. The rod was last seen in the possession of Myastan Kimmerin, a morally dubious dragon. Without getting into too many details, he was last seen with it in Icewind Dale when going to speak. There have not been any reports of the artifact since that visit, though Kimmerin has certainly left their mark on various places without it in the intervening time. So we think it may have been left in the Storm Giant's keeping. If not, then they may have an idea of where to find it.
Who is Myas?
Myastan is his dragonborn clan name. Kimmerin has made a name for himself by protecting wild places and, well, destroying or sabotaging anyone that threatens them in any way.
And how are we supposed to get...
I don't know. That is for you to figure out.
Where exactly...
It's far to the north, beyond the spine of the...
You're kidding.
Yeah, I probably should have included that in the bad news category.
We should get going, then.
Well, there's a ship heading north in the next day or so. I arranged passage for you, though you will have to find other ships heading north on your own once this one stops in Waterdeep. Shouldn't be too troublesome this time. Oh, and one last thing. One of our occultists was able to identify those grinning creatures that you have encountered. They are called Gru, and are part of a large, mysterious category of creatures commonly called Starspawn. Whatever their purpose is here, the few times the Starspawn Gru are mentioned in our books usually labels them as minions, shock troopers, and harbingers for even greater evils and agents of ancient mad gods. How they came here is unknown, but their very presence is troubling. The people working with them probably worship whatever elder god the group... I suspect that you have found the cult of the Old Ones, which may explain why the man in the mask was interested in the devil cultists you found in Adro's Tower. They would likely have similar goals and could be using similar resources.
This information has left Thesos shaken. He does not seem worried so much about the Gru themselves as to what their appearance in our world might mean.
What might they want with...
It's impossible to say. Many creatures that come from other planes have been known to open more portals to their homes and thereby facilitate an invasion. Theoretically, since dragons are tied to the very nature of magic in our world, they could use him as a focus or anchor point, though they would also need his soul for that, since the soul is what really ties dragons to Faerû. It could be that they simply need a host large enough for the parasite. There's also the possibility that they've taken his body to their home plane, in which case... In which case there is nothing we could do.
What else can you tell us about?
Unfortunately, not much. Morton Kanan himself never dared travel to their home, as it is a place beyond human reason or understanding. Simply going there would...
Thank you for the information.
Limited as it was. Keep this with you as you travel. You can use this to contact me from anywhere in Faerun at any time. If you're in dire trouble, or if you encounter something that might be very interesting to me, use that. Otherwise, abuse this privilege and I will sever the connection permanently. Now go down to the docks and you will find passage on a ship heading north. Good luck.
Oh, it's chapter based. Okay. It's at the dock, isn't it? Evans at the dock. It's a fire shield. Oh, you are not going to be much help. Yeah, I like how it sits so far. Let's, yep. Alright.
Need a lift?
The
I just want
voyage
to...
north is long, and you discover an intense dislike of the sea, as you find yourself repeatedly clutching the ship's railing and spewing out
Dragon.
various meals into the waves. As the voyage continues, the air also grows colder, as settlements and cities along the coast become fewer and far between. By the time the captain tells you that your destination is near, you have already started counting how many seconds it takes for your puke to freeze against the hull of the ship. Looking up from the railing, though, you see a dark shape looming through the blowing snow, and something about it that has nothing to do with the cold causes you to shiver.
Ah, I see the Princessprt has caught your eye. Best hope you don't find yourself going there anytime soon, unless you have business.
What is that place?
It's called Rivel's End, in Ark's name if ever there was one, as I've not known anywhere bleaker or more devoid of joy. There is a prison built to hold the worst criminals that mankind has to offer. Whether the sorry souls stuck in there deserve it or not, well, I can't say.
Again, prisons. How is it that humans are so taken with prisons, cells, and confining each other?
Why build something like...
Well, the nice and fancy folk don't want no reminders of the dirty and dangerous people that they've locked up. So they put them as far from civilization as you can imagine.
How much farther until port?
Not much farther at all. See, just keep heading along that there path and you'll find your way to Caird Interval. Not much of a place for southerners, between the cold and the rough company, but you'll find shelter from the blizzards and food. Good luck, wherever your journey takes you.
Oh, what a miserable place.
How are you cold? I can hear you shivering. That doesn't make sense. I'm the one who has to walk through this.
Oh, maybe because I am not simply a passive observer, and I am actually sharing your body. How many times must I explain this?
Right, but shivering? Thought you needed your own body for that.
Never mind.
Oh.
I choose to live in such a dismal part of the world.
Judging by what the captain said along the way, people who either don't want to be found or have nowhere else to go.
Lovely. Well, if we are to keep our visit as brief as possible, I would suggest finding the nearest bartender or such who might have heard rumors of a giant.
Oh. Oh, warmth, warmth, warmth. Oh, warmth. Oh, there's a...
Haven't seen you around before. What do you want?
Friendly.
What can you tell me about
Other than it being a hive of scum and villains, what it's left after the rest of 10 towns after the incident some years back.
what incident?
Great white dragon came through. His breath was so cold, it froze shattered people as they tried to flee. Took a band of adventurers hired from Kalimshan to finally kill the thing. Everyone just congregated here in the end, since Kardinaval had the least damage, though that's not...
Have you had any disappearances?
It's Icewind Dale. People go missing, and still, if you mean anything outside of that, no. Can't say as I've heard anything. People who get lost in the storm. Then again, I did hear that something's been going on with the dwarves up in Kelvin's Camp. Lots of rumors and stories coming from them, though I don't think they've had any misfortune themselves. Just...
Have you heard anything about a
Storm giant? That ain't like a frost giant? Or do you mean a stone giant? Because we got plenty of those up on our spine. Sometimes...
No, I mean storm.
And I've got nothing for you. Though you could always ask Kel, your goat kicker. She's been around a fair amount.
So long.
Seriously? You know...
You're the one who forgot to ask if I was going to get anything. Ma'am, why are you in the fire? You know what, I can't blame you for being in the fire, because you're probably warmer there.
Are you Helia?
Who wants to know?
Have you heard of any
Outside of the usual. Well, my cousins in Kelvin's people going missing, losing their minds, and some stuff.
What do you do around?
I'm a right and proper adventure.
This woman has certainly seen an adventure or two, a few fights as well, but as far as buried treasure and the like, well, she probably wouldn't be here if she'd found any, now would she?
My name is Katra, and I'm looking.
Storm giant. Well,
Any details you can give me?
hi. Here's a trail. A blizzard started blowing around one of the peaks in particular. My partner and I, we thought we'd go see if anything were up that way.
And what does this have to do?
I'm getting there. So, after about an hour marching through the storm, thing is, the snow was... We tried to find shelter. But then, next thing, we've been taken all the way down for the wildest thing I ever seen, and I still ain't been able to figure it out.
She seems sincere about this story, at least for the most part.
Thank you for your time.
Well, that is at least a little promising. What say you, Katra?
It's the only lead we've got at the moment, so it's probably worth investigating.
Want to hear about how my mate and I fought off a dragon? Well, it were a little one, but still.
Wait, what is this thing?
Here, crystals grow in abundance,
Oh.
sprouting from and covering the cave's walls like lichen. Most of these crystals have also been found to have magical properties, most notably enhancing spells that freeze their targets. However, the crystals have proven too unstable to use reliably and have been known to shatter or even explode during spellcasting, so few risk using them.
Nope. And upgraded that. I wanna unlock this. What is this? This is that main thing. The Kelpin place.
I should warn you, in case you did not already know. Dragons and giants have a long-standing rivalry that verges on hatred, depending on the parties involved. Storm giants are known as goodly, if stern, creatures, but regardless of this one's disposition, it might be for the best if you do not mention my presence or involvement.
Ah, something else to complicate things. That's good to know. Thanks.
This storm will be the end of you.
Where are you? I just want to talk. proceed. You
Oh,
tread a
chill,
dangerous path, human.
chill,
If you have come to
chill.
rob or hunt me, then I hope that you have made peace with yourself.
Oh, fucking. Came to talk. I came to talk.
This is Storm Giant, and one who has ascended beyond the restrictions of their body, it seems. They aren't just controlling the storm around us. They are the storm. It is a part of them. Be careful.
Speak now and tell me your purpose in coming here, lest I blast you off the side of the mountain.
She is quite guarded and wary of you, but contrary to her words, she does not seem to want to harm you. Though,
Do you know a druid named Mayastan Kimmerin? No. Should I?
she absolutely knows who Kimmerin is, and seems both surprised that you ask and immediately on edge.
Do you know of any others? No. I live separate from my people. Are you the only one who has lived here in the last few years? Yes. Well, there are accounts of Kimmerin visiting a storm giant friend in this area, and if you are the only one here, then that must be you. Brock, I told him to check for scrying, the fool. Fine, what do you want with him? My friend has been infested with a parasite that has also displaced his soul. We were told by the Sage of Magic at Candlekeep that his best hope is to find the Rod of Alignment, which was last seen with Kimmerin. And what if I refuse to help? What will you do? If you do not help, then That seems rather far. This is a powerful Very well. I indeed possess the druid who last held the rod is indeed a friend of mine. The Lord's Alliance decided that they had suffered his vigilantism long enough, and cannot enter that bastion, as its magic wards me away.
She is used to keeping her own counsel, and it seems that leaving you in the dark is to her advantage, as you can read nothing on her face.
What has he done to get imprisoned? He defends the wild places of Faerun.
She is used to keeping her own counsel, and it seems
Damn
that
it.
leaving you in the dark is to her...
A prison break to— Well then, perhaps a last warning to you. Beware. I have not seen the guards at their outposts for every time I've tried to approach since its appearance. I do not know if the jailers have summoned it as an additional guardian. Good luck.
That is all a rather tall order, and none of it too encouraging. At this point, the best we can do is probably to investigate the prison, see if we can identify some of its defenses and any gaps therein.
Hmm. The best bet is to get magic missile, like, cooldown started, like, immediately. Oh god, no, there's multiple. Nope. Okay, I'm just running. Just go. Run. Flee. Flee. Just run. Just go. That is a beautiful sight up there, by the way. Oh no, I gotta pass some bumble, like, yetis or something. Almost still the abominable snowman. No, it's the abominable yeti. So I assume it's a yeti. Oh, that looks so pretty! Oh, I'm gonna stop by here and see what's going on with this.
The Illithid, also known as Mind
Sorry,
Flayers,
what?
once ruled vast empires across multiple worlds, conquering whole races and forcing them into service. Ships like this one were how the monsters traveled between the stars and across planes of existence. Be glad that this one is long since crashed and abandoned. Otherwise, its presence would foretell a coming calamity.
This thing still being here is a calamity in itself waiting to happen. Let's check for treasure chests. Oh, fuck. Nope, 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 nope. Now, the thing where they say don't, like, oh, don't get too ahead of yourself. Yeah, I got too ahead of myself. Just flee. Just flee. There are mine fires still in that ship. I thought it was abandoned. It wasn't abandoned. Oh, the narrator lied. Well, the DM lied to me. That shit's not abandoned. I am not lucky. Um. This.
No sign
Oh,
of that creature that Nalcra warned us about. Can you discern anything noteworthy?
well, shit's on fire. Alright.